I am making this announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, laws of the state of New Jersey. The Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of the meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2021. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of the schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall, and has mailed true copies of the schedule to the local source, to Star Ledger and the Home News Tribune, is maintaining a copy of the schedule in her office during the year 2021. During the public health emergency caused by the coronavirus, the Borough Council will continue to meet on their regularly scheduled meeting dates at 6 p.m. The council meetings will continue to commence as soon as possible after the work session. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regard to this meeting. Please stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Cesari?
Here.
Councilman David?
Here.
Councilman Finestrella?
Here.
Councilman Ladati?
Here.
Councilman Pence?
Here.
And Councilman Puglisi
Okay.
is not present, ma'am.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and council meeting of March 10th, 2021?
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Councilman Ladati, seconded by Councilwoman Cesari. All in favor?
Aye.
Communications received are various advisories from the New Jersey State League of Municipalities, receipt of review from the Department of Community Affairs on the approved redevelopment study and designation of an area in need of redevelopment, non-condemnation. A tree removal request was received from the resident at 239 North 19th Street. The findings of the Kenilworth Planning Board deeming ordinance 2021-01 consistent with the master plan. And the department reports for February 2021 were also received.
Is there a motion to accept communications and reports?
Second.
Motion made by Councilman David, seconded by Councilman Pence. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'd like to start by congratulating our building inspector, Jerry Eager. Jerry was unanimously chosen by his peers as Building Inspector of the Year. This prestigious award is in recognition of his work ethic and a job well done. Congratulations, Jerry. Our community is proud that you are part of our team. Kenilworth's current COVID cases are as follows. We have a total of 988 cases. 149 of these have fallen in the past 30 days. Of the 149, 22 have occurred in the past 7 days. 8 school-age children between the ages of 5 and 18 have tested positive in the last 14 days. With vaccinations becoming widely available, I see light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm looking forward to some glimpse of normalcy coming. There's no doubt that this has been a time of a challenge for Kenilworth. We faced the financial challenge of preparing our budget. There's been a notable drop in revenue due to the pandemic. We also face the ongoing problem of court-mandated affordable housing and the reality that continued opposition could result in the Superior Court taking over the task in Kenilworth, which would be a terrible result. I have recently conducted a number of meetings with MERC officials regarding their decision to move out of our community. I will carefully to continue to monitor and keep communication open between the borough and MERC officials. Most recently, a new challenge, the potential legal sale of marijuana in our community. I've been watching closely the different approaches being taken in other communities across New Jersey. My recommendation is to take the necessary steps required to prohibit the sale in our community. I've spoken to our borough attorney to prepare a draft ordinance for your consideration, and I welcome everyone's input. The reminder that the Board of Health will be hosting a blood drive on April 12th from 1 to 6 p.m. at the VFW. And I would also like to wish everyone a beautiful holiday filled with love and blessings. Thank you. Okay, and I will move on to the finance report. Councilman Ladati.
Thank you, Mayor. The tax/finance office is currently assisting residents with the PTR forms. That's the freeze. You may bring your form to the office between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to be completed. If you have not received the book and you feel you should have, please call the State Division of Taxation Office at 1-800-882-6597. The tax office has not received their PTR 1 books. We hope to receive them by mid-April, so you can pick one up there if you haven't. The tax fine office's office received notification from the state of New Jersey that the homestead credits will be forthcoming. If you are approved by the state to receive the homestead credit, you will receive an adjusted tax bill from the Borough within the next few weeks. Please do not call the office asking if you received the credit. We have not yet received the file from the state of New Jersey and appreciate your patience. I also have a report regarding our COVID-19 relief package. As many of you are aware, the borough is expected to receive $804,620.05 over the next 2 years. That you keep the 5 cents. 2-year period in COVID-19 relief. Under federal requirements, municipality funds can pay COVID-related expenses, cover lost revenue due to the pandemic, to maintain services and avoid layoffs, which is a plus, which is very nice. The money can also be used to invest in water and sewer projects. As such, I will be working with the CFO, engineer, and a municipal attorney. Our goals are twofold. Ensuring that each department reports exactly what their expenses have been, very important. Identify the infrastructure projects we should undertake for the improvement of the borough. That's our plan and what I will be following up with our engineers, our CFO, and our departments. It's important that we start getting information about the relief money. We haven't gotten it yet. Maybe we should call up our senators and our representatives for our town and push them to give us some answers. So the CFO and the committee, finance committee, can start moving forward. It's important that we move forward and keep our CFO alive.
That's a word.
That's an inside joke, I guess, folks. And Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Ladati. Department of Public Works, Councilman David.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I have is April 14th, the north side bulk pickup will start. Everyone's from the 14th that was completed. South side is April 21st, same thing. I have noticed that people are already putting stuff out to the curb. I suggest you bring it back until those dates. Otherwise, you can look on the website, and there are fees, and the DPW will come and pick it up, and you have to pay the fee first. And that's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Councilman David. Department of Public Safety, Councilwoman Cesari.
Thank you, Mayor. I received a report from Chief Fred Seuss for March 24th, 2021. Several Kenilworth residents have been victims of both online and in-person frauds. Credit card and online accounts have been targeted, and in some cases, fraudulent purchases made. One resident had their Social Security number used to file multiple unemployment applications. Residents are advised to guard their personal information closely. Kenilworth Juvenile was identified as a suspect for several car burglaries in the area of South Michigan Avenue. The same individual was also a suspect in several motor vehicle burglaries in Cranford in the area of Orange Avenue. Residents are advised to keep their vehicles locked even while in their driveways. On 3/21, approximately 1 a.m., Kenilworth Police Department again responded to the TAC Zone Gym after a noise complaint from nearby residences. Officers discovered several hundred people gathered at that location with armed security guards present. This time it was not just juveniles but adults as well, and alcohol and marijuana were also present. This was apparently a pop-up party which had been advertised on the internet. Officers shut the party down for health reasons, and the business owner and event manager were both charged with several executive order violations, as well as zoning violations. The same individuals were charged for a similar party at that location, which occurred on March 7th, the week before. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cesari. Planning and zoning, Councilman Fenestrella.
Thank you, Mayor. The last planning and zoning meeting on March 11th, there were two topics discussed. The first one was the ordinance 2021-01, stormwater control updates. Basically, it's a ordinance to make sure that we're compliant with the NJDEP standards. The Planning Zone Council all voted unanimous to pass that, to present to Mayor and Council. The other topic was the master plan, which is usually updated every 10 years. It's been 10 years and it's been in the works, but due to COVID, it's been delayed. The planning board committee is to get together, review it, and then put in their suggestions on what needs to be updated and changed by April 1st, and then discussed on the April 8th meeting. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Fenestrella. Recreation and Fire, Councilman Pence.
Thank you, Mayor. Recreation report, softball registrations have closed. The teams are being made and practice should be starting soon. They have 91 families registered at the at-home Easter egg hunts, 170 children so far. Registrations for that will close on March 31st. The glow-in-the-dark Easter egg hunt will take place this Saturday. Any Kenilworth resident is welcome to participate. Details are posted on the Red Facebook page. And the fire report I'll submit to Laura.
Okay, thank you. Health, Education, and Human Services, Councilman Puglisi, and no one has a report for him, so. Okay. Next for council consideration is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ladati, seconded by Councilwoman Cesari.
Resolutions 1 to 6 are listed on the consent agenda and will be enacted by one motion. All items will be recorded individually in full in the minutes. Councilwoman Cesari?
Yes.
Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Fenestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Ladati?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi is not present. I have three ordinances, two. One was pulled. There's an ordinance for a public hearing and adoption of 2021-01, an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending Chapter 120 Land Use Part 4 Stormwater Control, Article 34 Stormwater Control Standards of the Code of the Borough of Kenilworth.
Okay, the purpose of this ordinance is to update the borough's stormwater ordinance to align with the new DEP regulations. Is there a motion to open the floor for public discussion on this ordinance 2021-01 only?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ladati, seconded by Councilwoman Cesari. Okay. There being no discussion, there is no motion to close the floor for public discussion on this ordinance
So
only.
moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ladati, seconded by Councilman Pence. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2021-01 for adoption?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman David, seconded by Councilwoman Cesari. Okay, ordinance passes.
Be it hereby resolved that ordinance 2021-01, entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending Chapter 120 Land Use Part 4 Stormwater Control, Article 34 Stormwater Control Standards of the Code of the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey, was introduced and approved on first reading at the regular meeting of the Borough Council on February 24th, 2021, and approved for final passage at the regular meeting of the Borough Council of March 24th, 2021, after all persons interested were given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance in accordance with law. Councilwoman Cesari?
Yes.
Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Fenestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Ladati?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi is not present. Ordinance 2021-02 is an ordinance that is amending the existing Chapter 170 road opening fees. We are going to pull that for this evening, and it will be addressed at the next council meeting. So the next ordinance up for introduction is 2021-03, an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending the existing Chapter 106 garbage, rubbish, refuse, and recycling, Article 2, mandatory recycling within the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey.
Okay, the purpose of this ordinance is to amend Chapter 106-15, Commercial and Institutional Establishment Compliance Requirements, to make commercial and industrial establishments located within the borough responsible for disposal costs generated by the establishment. As it's written right now, the borough's recycling ordinance for commercial establishments allows them to utilize the DPW drop-off center to dispose of their recycling. This ordinance was written when the contractors collecting the borough's recycling were making money on these products. As it stands, the borough is now paying for all recycling disposable costs, and the businesses may therefore avoid retaining their own recycle services and bring their recycling to the DPW yard at a huge cost to the borough. To this end, it is the recommendation of the Superintendent of the Department of Public Works, Michael Calixto, to update Borough Ordinance 2010-15, Chapter 106-15, Commercial and Institutional Establishment Compliance, Section E. Is there a motion to approve this ordinance 2021-03 on introduction?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman David, seconded by Councilwoman Cesari.
Be it hereby resolved that ordinance 2021-03, entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending the existing Chapter 106 garbage, rubbish, refuse, and recycling, Article 2, mandatory recycling within the Borough of Kenilworth, County of the Union, State of New Jersey, heretofore introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on April 28, 2021, at 7 p.m., or as soon as thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the Borough Council, and that at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance in accordance with law. Councilwoman Cesari?
Yes.
Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Ladati?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi is not present.
Okay, thank you. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month and also Autism Awareness, and I have two proclamations this evening. I'm going to start with the child abuse. Whereas in 2018, 4.3 million reports were made to Child Protective Services, and child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community. And finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. Our children are most valuable resources and will shape the future of New Jersey. Child abuse can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse. Protective factors are conditions that reduce or limit risk and promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. Effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. Communities must take every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families. Whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Now, therefore, I, Linda Karlovich, Mayor of the Borough of Kenilworth, do hereby proclaim April 2021 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month. In Kenilworth, we urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all our children and families. In witness hereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Borough of Kenilworth to be affixed this 24th day of March 2021. And second is autism awareness. Whereas autism is a pervasive developmental disorder affecting the social learning and behavioral skills of those affected by it. As more and more health professionals become proficient in diagnosing autism, more children are being diagnosed on the autistic spectrum, resulting in rates as high as 1 in 68 children nationally and 1 in 45 in New Jersey. Autism can affect anyone regardless of race, ethnicity, or other factors. While there is no cure for autism, it is well documented that if an individual with autism receives early and intensive treatment throughout their lives, they lead significantly improved lives. From home to school and in businesses and in communities around the world, people living with autism spectrum disorder contribute in immeasurable ways to our society. They remind us each day that every person is born with unique talents and should be treated with respect, play an active role in planning for their futures, and feel empowered to fully participate in and contribute to their communities. Americans with autism play an important role in society and in their daily lives. They embody the belief at the heart of our founding, that in America, with hard work and equal access, all people can realize their aspirations. Today and every day, let us reach for a future in which no person living on the autistic spectrum is limited by anything but the size of their dreams. One in which all people have the opportunity to live a life with a sense of identity, purpose, and self-determination. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor Linda Karlovich, on behalf of the Borough Council, do hereby proclaim April 2021 as Autism Awareness Month in the Borough of Kenilworth, and encourage everyone to learn more about autism and what they can do to support individuals on the autism spectrum and their families, and to help shape a world in which all people, including those with autism, are accepted for who they are. In witness hereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the Borough of Kenilworth to be affixed this 24th day of March 2021. Okay, I would like a motion to open the floor to the public.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ladati, seconded by Councilman David. All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone have anything for the good and well-being of Kenilworth? Please come forward and state your name and address. Okay, seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close the floor for public discussion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman David, seconded by Councilwoman Cesari. All in favor? Okay, does anyone else have anything to say for the good and welfare of the borough?
Mayor, I'd actually like to take the opportunity to thank one of our new officials. The borough family here, we're pretty strong. We've seen some changes. Some have gone, some have joined us. And usually if you look back on some of our Facebook posts, you see we like to celebrate together as well. The last year and this year has been challenging, and I really wanted to just reach out and let everyone know on behalf of the borough staff and myself, the new code enforcement officer, Iris Ramos, she went out of her way to brighten up St. Patrick's Day. She arranged to have a bagpiper come and play here at Borough Hall.
So nice.
And it really did, it was nice. It brought everybody's spirits up. It brought a little sunshine into our day, and it was greatly appreciated. So I just wanted to say thank you, Iris.
That's so awesome. Thank you, Iris. And I did see the bagpipers on Facebook. I wasn't able to be here, and he was amazing.
He was great.
Yes, he was. I just wanted to circle back 1 second before we close. I did reach out to someone in the county during our break, and at this time, they are not planning county fireworks, just to let you know. I guess that's subject to change, but that's where the county is at. Okay, anyone else?
Yes, I know it's Child Abuse Month. I think everybody should consider and think about what's happening on our southern borders. Children are being housed in terrible conditions. Places holding 200 children are now holding 400, 500. Everybody should be concerned. This has nothing to do with immigration policies or any politics. It's just a condition that we're putting these children through. And I think as Americans and as this Child Abuse Month, I think we have to stand up to what's going on there. I hope things change soon, for the kids' sake. Like I said, it's not political, it's just talking about kids, and the scenes on TV are terrible.
Yep,
And I thank you for giving me the opportunity.
absolutely, thank you. Okay, anyone else? Okay, if there's nothing else to be brought before the council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ladati, seconded by Councilwoman Cestari. All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.